Hi everyone, for those that don't know me, my name is Kristy Coromandel. I am a Stepping Up demonstrator right here in Outback Australia, and I'm super excited to have you join me today for our project tutorial. This week we are talking about simple layering with our pattern paper, and I have a cheerful card that shows off this technique perfectly. This project is all about letting your pattern paper do all the heavy lifting, and we're keeping our layout simple with just a few simple mats, a bold sentiment and a bold floral pattern paper to make it pop. So whether you're brand new to layering or you wanted a go-to template that you can use over and over again, then this is the one for you. So grab your favorite pattern paper and let's dive in. Now the first thing I like to do when I'm working with layers is start with some pattern paper, and I've got a piece here from Mediterranean Blooms, and to work out my layers or what colour my layers are going to be, I work out what the colours are of my actual pattern paper here. So I've decided I'm going to pull out the Daffodil Delight and the garden green colour out of this pattern paper to actually create all of my layers. So let's do that first. Actually, let's do our stamping first. So I do have a scrap piece of white cardstock, and the stamp set I'm working with is Layered Thoughts. This is a nice large font that's perfect for beginners or if you're just getting started, because it has a variety of different fonts on there, as well as you can make so many quick and easy cards with this stamp set. Now I've grabbed the happy birthday image and I'm inking this up in my garden green because this is a color that I've pulled out of the pattern paper itself. And I'm actually going to die cut that out just to add a little bit of texture here. So I've got my die set here, which is called Textured Notes. Let's grab, I think this one might fit. Yep, perfect. So let's grab our die cutting machine and let's run this through our die cutting. So the beauty of my die cutting machine here has these platforms, and on these platforms it actually tells you what platforms to use. So we're going to do a die. So this is this one right up here, placing a die in here, and we need platform 1, 2 and 2 platform 3. So I have my platform 1, it's labeled in the corner there. Here's my platform number 2. It's also got the diagram right here on platform number 2 as well. I'm going to add one of my number 3 platforms down. Let's add our stamped image along with our die on top like that, and we add another platform 3 and let's run that through. I'm just turning the handle, running this through. Okay, and here is what this looks like right now. Now, if we didn't have the die, we could have easily have just cut a rectangle out there. Now comes the fun part. Let's add some layers to this. So simply just going to use my adhesive of choice, and we are just going to layer and add some more layers. So all I have done now is I've grabbed some coordinating colors cardstock, and this is Daffodil Delight, and I've cut this 1/8 of an inch larger than my white panel, and then I'm going to adhere this to some garden green, which I've also cut 1/8 of an inch bigger than my yellow or my Daffodil Delight. And then I have my garden green piece here and my pattern paper. And remember, my pattern paper comes from the Mediterranean Blues. No, sorry, again. Mediterranean Blooms paper pack. And I've simply cut my green mat 1/8 of an inch larger than my pattern paper. Now it's time to actually put all of this together. So we have our card base here, which is of thick white cardstock. I'm simply going to place down my matted pattern paper here. I'm going to center and stick that to my card base. And then of course with my greeting panel that's all matted up, I'm actually just going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals down. And I'm simply just going to center and stick that down to my card front, like so. And then we can just finish it off with some embellishments. And I've got here some opal rounds assortments. I'm just simply just going to add a little bit of a scattering of these. And that's it. That is our card. Look how quick and easy that was to put together. And by simply using our pattern paper as our hero, we've then created some coordinating layers with to match our pattern paper. Now let me show you a couple of other examples where you can use pattern paper to create your layers in your card design. So this one here, I've simply just grabbed 3 pieces of pattern paper and I've just offset it slightly onto each section like that. Then this one here, I've just gone and cut out some circles of pattern paper in various sizes, including my greeting. I've done that in 2 colors here as well. So I've got Strawberry Slush and Petunia Pop. Which one do you like best? Let me know in the comments. Here's another idea for you, and this idea is really great for somebody who is just getting started and maybe haven't had a go or wanting to have a go at layering. So all I've done here is I've used my in color paper pack, my pattern paper pack. So I've got Peach Pie, and then I've got a little bit bigger that's a bit wider of Pretty and Pink, and then of course I've stacked my greeting and I've added some ribbon as well. So it's just really simple by adding 2 different layers of paper. And then this one here, I've grabbed 2 different types of pattern paper. I'll actually grab the one and then I flipped it over, and you can see this bun sticking out behind. I've just kind of separated them so you can see both sides of the pattern paper. And then this one here, all I've done is grabbed a piece of paper that was more of a seam, and I've just broken it up into different widths. So this is like a 2-inch, 1 3/4, 1 inch, and then I think this is 3 3/4 of an inch, and I've just layered that down. So it kind of breaks it up a bit, even though it's 1 sheet of paper. And then this one here, I've simply just added a strip down the side here as a little focal element or supporting element to this card here as well. So let's put all these out so you can actually see them all. Let's see if I get them all in the frame. So there you have it, quick and easy layered cards that really let your pattern paper shine. So I hope today's project's given you some fresh inspiration for diving into your paper stash and keeping things simple but impactful. So this layer is one that you can use over and over again. So we're just going to swap out the sentiment or swap out the pattern paper. Same with all of these. You can swap out the pattern paper, swap out the sentiments, and give it a try, because I love to see what you can make. So share your version in the comments or tag me so I can cheer you on. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time for some more easy, joyful crafting. Bye for now.